Hello, people of the internet. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, happy Saturday to you all, or if you're watching this at any other point in the week, hope you're having a great day today. Today is Saturday. That means OST Saturdays. We're not doing it for this past week. I've already done that today. By the time you're watching this, is probably going to be out on the channel. Hopefully, everything survived. But, well, I missed 4 months of music, didn't I? So we're going to start playing a little bit of catch-up. The month of December of last year had a good handful of songs that I want to cover. Had I been recording through the December period, we would have gotten around to them on a weekly basis. But of course, I was moving across countries again. And, well, not having a setup, things of that nature. I didn't record during December. So we have the second half of the December songs to check out. Those over there, features ours for today. We got Shipsenchi, 10 centimeters. We got Miss Taeyeon, Mr. Seungkwan, Miss Yujin from IVE, and then we got a little bit of a CRAVITY, not a CRAVITY block, a Starship block at the end. Very interesting. Miss Seola collabing with Taeyoung of CRAVITY. And if you missed half one had Winter from aespa. Hopefully she is on the mend. Mr. Dawn, FT Island. Bora from Cherry Bullet, and my beloved Kolumbi. So, if you were curious in any of those, half one of December 2023 is out. It was the last episode, so season 2, episode 3 was half 1. This is going to be half 2. So this is episode 4 of season 2 of OST Saturdays. Let's get into it. Here we go! Rightio. And let's get started sharpish, shall we? Oh, if you want to skip ahead to a certain song, timeline below, as usual, is going to tell you exactly what we're listening to. Song number 1, Mr. Shipsenchi one time, Mr. 10 centimeters. I love his voice. I love his music. At least the little bits and bobs that we've heard from him in the past year or so. Especially since my ultimate first love, I've been really enjoying his music and his voice. So, Try Not to Cry for Tell Me That You Love Me by Mr. Shipsenchi. Here we go. I like how up close the instruments are mic'd up here. Like, you can hear all the little strums from the guitar. You can almost hear the hammers on the piano. Watching the sun goes down, hearing the lights, and knowing that Shipsenchi can play guitar as well, I can only imagine him playing along to this. When my eyes are closed, my tears have dried, everything sleeps. Where have I been gone? Will I ever come around? The mixing for this song is really interesting because it's not like a lot of OSTs that we've listened to here. The reverb's huge, but the song feels like it's being played at like a street busking event where everything feels really raw. 있을까 쉼없이 걸어가는 나의 이유 We'll talk about it again at the end, but a song in 3 on a ballad just works. It just feels so right. I will point this out though. I love and I appreciate the fact that this song, even once the song has started to grow, still doesn't feel like there's been a lot of post-production work done to it. It's like now is the point where you can kind of start to hear that there's been a little bit of work done behind the scenes in terms of like filtering the instruments or mixing the instruments differently. It's a little bit loud. The little background like rumble almost felt like the song was continuing, just like in my head. The kind of instrumental part was so powerful to the point where it was almost like it was a ghost song where it was still continuing throughout that rumble, and my brain was still thinking that there is still an instrumental part even though there wasn't anymore. That's really interesting. Oh, I do wonder if the mixing issues would be fixed if I go and listen to the Spotify version, because I did feel like maybe the lyric video for this kind of blew out the song a little bit, especially in that final chorus, because my headphones did get a little bit more crunchy and staticky than I think it's supposed to happen. So I may go back and listen to this in my free time, like a proper studio, unlike unaltered studio version of it, to just like get the true experience of it. But I love a song and I love a ballad in 3, man. There's just something so nice about a song in 3. And admittedly, Try Not to Cry is a song where it can be interpreted as a decently quick 3 or a really slow 4. What I mean by that is the song goes I'm just talking out the rhythms here or the beat here, but if it's in 3, it's ta 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 ta. It's not terribly slow. I mean, it's not fast by any means, but it's got a kind of slower 3 movement, or it's either that or ta 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 ta, or it's a really drawn out and slow 4. And either way, I think it just allows for that really just long, sustained notes throughout the song that works so well. And honestly, I really like Kwon Jung-il's voice when he's got the really nice sustain, because I think those are the times when it really showcases his vocal color, the one that I find really charming to listen to. And again, the instrumentals in this just felt so natural on a song like of this nature. An emotional ballad for me, it comes down to 3 points, I think. The vocal emotiveness, the instrumental part, and the pacing. This song, and especially like this being more of an emotive piece, by having the kind of more raw, natural sounding acoustic instrumentation, makes it feel that much more emotional for me. So I approve of this one heavily. Very nice. Okay, Miss Taeyeon with Dream from Welcome to Samdal-ri. DK of 17 did part 1 for this OST, and I really enjoyed it. And, well, I feel like we haven't heard Miss Taeyeon. Well, because 2X was her last release, right? And I feel like... I guess I didn't really listen to 2X a whole lot, but we don't get a whole lot of Taeyeon solo music throughout the year in just any capacity. So, to have a little OST number, I'm not going to complain one bit. And, honestly, from the... I mean, this is only part 3, but if part 1 was anything to base it off of, a little bit of a brighter tune, a little bit more upbeat than like a super emotional piece. Even if it is a super emotional slow ballad, I love a ballad, so I'm not going to complain one bit. It's got legs. Hold on. Nice pause. Hello, glissando into the full chorus. I wonder if Welcome to Samdal-ri is going to become one of those shows where it's like the immaculate OST category. We had a couple of those last year. Long transition into verse 2. I like that the main rhythmic instrument has changed from the drum kit to that palm muted guitar. But again, it's got the kind of relaxed but bright vibe that Short Hair by DK had from part 1 of this OST. And the string element helps as well. Is that a key change there? Y'all know how much I like a key change. Oh, we got this motif again! Sustain it. Take it again. Ah, yes, indeed. Look. Okay. That's very nice. That's very nice indeed. Had I checked this out last year, this probably would have made the top What did I end up doing for OSTs last year? Did I do 20 or 25? I forget, but this probably would have made the final lineup. That was really good. Genuinely, like, welcome to. I mean, I've only heard 2 songs from Welcome to Samdal-ri because we've, I think, skipped part 2, or whoever did part 2, because I had to kind of prioritize who we could cover just for time constraints. Um, Both DK's and Taeyeon's inclusions for the Welcome to Samdal-ri OST have been spectacular. They both had this kind of casual yet bright element to it. They both felt like kind of being out in the sunshine, and this dropped in December. I think the brightness would have been doubly as powerful than when I'm listening to it now. Middle of spring, it's toasty. It's like 23 degrees outside today. It's warm. It's humid. But had I been listening to this when it came out in December, I reckon the brightness would have been tenfold better. But again, I think it's got the perfect vocalist for the type of song that this is. Taeyeon's another one of those vocalists that has such a unique vocal color, and you immediately can recognize that she's singing a song. And yet this one didn't feel like this was Taeyeon going like pulling out all the stops, going full power. This felt like even Taeyoung was relaxing, and I think that's really cool because it doesn't sound like she was trying to like really force it to be like a Taeyeon song, if that makes sense. Felt like she was along for her ride. She was enjoying the vibe. She's enjoying the melody, and we just get a sprinkle of Taeyeon throughout. And yet it's just because of the vocals, it's just quintessentially Taeyeon, and I think I really like it because of it. This might have to go on the retrospective list from last year, 100%. On a piece. This one worries me because this is Disney based, so very high chance this gets cut out. If it does, I apologize in advance because, well, obviously I don't know. I'm still recording this. Miss Yujin of IVE, and formerly of IVE. I only say that because we had an OST in part 1. But Disney's Wish, right? It's the film, from what I could find out in minimal research, with the song This Wish. Disney OSTs are always going to be an interesting project to approach, because I think Disney's such an iconic brand at this point, and a big part of their film works comes down to the music. Like, if you think about the classics when it comes to Disney films, you pretty much know the OST, even though you've never seen the film. Like, I've never seen most of the Disney classics, but I know the music from them just because of how iconic they are, not just in the music world, but just in pop culture in general. And while, again, I'm not a film head by any means, I probably watch maybe 1 or 2 films a year. I still like to think that just based off of the handful of recent like last 10 years Disney films that I've watched, the OSTs have still kept up that high quality. And you know what? We'll see if that's the case again today. Here we go. Big dramatic finish, a la Disney film. Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. It is very Disney coded. And I know I've said that a lot, but it's very Disney coded. And I think Yujin's a really interesting choice because, I mean, if you've followed along with IVE, or even before then through like the IZ*ONE days, and you know of her like kind of off-stage personality in a way, you know she's more than capable of that kind of like playfulness. And it's really cool to see it show through the music, because I feel like IVE has got a sound where it's pretty, I don't want to say firm, but pretty firm in the kind of sound that goes into every song. Like, they've had playful songs like Not Your Girl from their like full-length album comes to mind. You know, they've got the kind of like bouncy party vibe from songs like Afterlike and I Want, you know, the Pepsi collab song they did last year. They can do the kind of like catchy, more rhythmic stuff like Kitsch, like Baddie. And they can do the harder stuff like Baddie, but I feel like a song with just an immediately recognizable playful nature, I feel like IVE hasn't had before. So to hear, admittedly, this is only Yujin doing it, but having Yujin have a song of this nature that has this really almost playful attitude towards it in the vocal delivery, in like the kind of ad-libs throughout the song, is really interesting to hear. And I'd be really curious to see if Starship will give them a song that has this kind of playfulness on an IVE release moving forward. And I'm pretty sure, don't IVE have a mini album coming out soon? I'm pretty sure IVE have a release coming up here in the not too distant future. I'd be very curious to see if IVE can pull, like a group IVE song can do a kind of attitude, like a playful attitude like this Swish with Yujin does. And, well, let's see if it got cut or not. If it did, well, you're just gonna have to take my word for it and listen to the original. Link down below. Mr. Boo! Mr. Boo. Okay. The moment you arrive from... Oh, once again, tell me that you love me. I mean, Seungkwan's vocals can really go anywhere, so I reckon this is going to be a really good time anyway. Regardless, here we go. I gotta turn it down. I may have gotten the order wrong. This was supposed to come before Yujin's. I apologize. I just clocked onto that. Oh.
편안한 이 순간만 기다리죠. 그대와 있는 이 고요한 시간들을 한 걸음도.
Oh, that is not the flourish I expected for the chorus. Nice hearty growth though by the time we get to the very end or the latter end. This song is playing with like songs throughout. Just the amount of play in where the song is going is really cool. Because it's kind of keeping me on my toes. It's not going exactly where I think it's gonna go. Also interesting, the verse isn't very high for a Seungkwan song, which makes the chorus hit a little bit harder. That wasn't the chord sequence from the first time around, was it? Slick transition into the bridge, actually. I completely forgot we were already here. This might not even be the bridge. This might be the final chorus.
나의 맘을 당신에게 말할게요.
Hold it. It was. Oh, snap. Sustain it, and cut. Wow. Now, this song kind of had some twists and turns in it that I wasn't really ready for. Maybe it's because most of the songs that we listened to, or that I listened to today, like, I've probably gone through, or I'm going to be going through at least 15 OSTs today just because of the whole December scenario that I'm in. But this is the most kind of what am I trying to say here? This is the hardest song to follow based on the fact that it does kind of have some creative elements that isn't like the easy way out, so to speak. Like your standard song formula. This kind of takes certain moments and spins it in a way where it's like, okay, oh, that's definitely not how I think normal standard OSTs would have been written in. And I think that's really cool. And I adore Seungkwan to bits. He is my 17 bias at the end of the day. And, I mean, his personality is freaking hilarious. But at the end of the day, his vocals for me are just so spectacularly good. And the range that my boy has here, the range that he has, makes OSTs from him specifically really interesting to listen to. Because you never know what you're gonna get. And I feel like this time around, we got that kind of softer Seungkwan. Just the entire way around, we got that kind of softer sound, which I'm not complaining about one bit. I think it's terrific. But it's still like, it's still him. He is. Oh no, that's it. But it's just listening to him. It just feels like, yes, this is like his moment. This is his voice. This is his song, and it just feels familiar. Like his voice gives me a sense of familiarity. It's like a comfort zone in a way, if that makes sense. Anyways, I'm waffling too much. Final song. This is actually really interesting because I saw this pop up on the release calendar when I was getting the really long list set up, and I saw that there was a little bit of a collab piece. And a collab piece between two voices that I genuinely didn't think we'd ever hear together. Like, Starship haven't done a Starship Planet song in a hot minute. And I'm pretty sure the last time they did a Starship Planet, CRAVITY weren't a group yet. But we have a little Uju and CRAVITY collab with Miss Seola, who, of course, after this made her solo debut, which was terrific, and Taeyoung of CRAVITY, whose most recent era I still need to go and listen to because I know they dropped an album after like Cheese and those types of songs around the end of last summer. Hopefully I'll get around to that at some point in the near future. But this is Stay for Drama Man and One. Here we go. This will also be really interesting because I'm not familiar with the CRAVITY members apart from like Hyungjin and Sungmin and Serim. Maybe Minhee on a good day. Love the layering there. Nice octaves. You know, sometimes a complex harmony is nice. Sometimes a good octave harmony is really good too. Speaking of harmonies, 네가 아파할 때면 그걸 Taeyoung's voice has this kind of delicacy to it. It's just really nice for this song. Back to the octaves again. Split the harmonies this time. Yeah, but the attack of Taeyoung's vocals is super clean, but not very like, ooh, kind of slides into the phrase that he's singing. That's really nice. Like, I'm really familiar with Seola's vocals because I love Rouge Sonia, but CRAVITY I'm not too read up on, so. It's such a subtle harmony, but it's so nice. It makes everything. AB, AB. Ah, false drop, take it way down. There's the full release. And having Seola stay up there at the end with the little fills was a really nice touch. Because they kept her in the mix pretty far back, so it kind of adds this extra level in the background. It's her like little vocal run up top wasn't the main focal point. The harmony, it was still the main focal point of that final chorus, and that's chef's kiss. But genuinely, this is kind of terrific. This has a lot of things that I really love about a duet. And interesting enough, the harmonies really aren't too complex. Like, there isn't too many moving parts even in the harmonies. And yet, so, you know, this is almost the textbook definition of like too many cooks spoil the broth. Too many little bits and pieces, or like specifically moving bits and pieces within a song like this, sometimes can make it too busy and ruin it. So, like, this is a really simple harmony throughout the entire song. And yet, I still think because of it, the execution is so good. It's so pretty, and it's got a delicateness to it, but it's not like soft and slow. And yet, because it's got all the harmonies within it, even though the song isn't too complex, it's got a lot of meat on its bone. It's got a lot of stuff that you can kind of sink your teeth into while you're listening to it. And yeah, again, I'm not really well versed in the CRAVITY guys. I'm primarily read up on the guys from Game Caterers because I've spent a little bit more extra time on those members specifically. But Taeyoung's vocals on this were spectacular. He's got such a delicate voice with a really soft attack into his phrases that's not kind of just like slides in, not like pitch-wise, but like power-wise, just kind of slides into the perfect amount of vocal power for the song. And I think because of it, complements Sola's vocals really well too, because Seola can also do like the kind of softer attack on musical phrases really well. This was a really smart pairing for a duet. Oh, okay. Had I listened to, well, you know, now that I've done the entire month of December, or at least the ones that I had intended on getting around to, or I would have intended on getting around to during the month of December, December was a really good month for OSTs. Like, I can hand on heart say December was a terrific month for OSTs. For this half, Taeyeon's Dream is up there for me. But, I mean, Seola and Taeyoung Stay has to, I think, take OST of the block. As for the month, though, ooh, As for the month, I don't know, because FT Islands from Block 1 was really good. Winters with You from My Demon was also really good. But genuinely, my OST pick from December might be Seola and Taeyoung. Wow, I did not expect to like it this much. And maybe it's the idea that it's label mates collabing with each other. I don't know, just something about that. Like, I just love a good collab song. You know, I'm a sucker for a collab song, and when the final product is that good, of course I'm gonna like it. It's got so many things that I like about it. And actually, let me scroll through January's. I'll kind of talk you through January's. 'Cause I'm pretty sure, what, Man and Woman, right? Do we have any more songs from this show? Oh, we've got a My Demon song. A Happy Ending. Oh, Jung Ho's Exchange 3 OSTs in next month. Maybe we don't have a song from this show, Man and Woman. I'll look around. Because, I mean, this is part 1, so obviously there's probably been more music since then. But if the songs from this show are gonna be at this level, kind of along the same lines of Welcome to Samdal-ri would have been released around this exact, roughly around the same time period. If the songs can maintain this quality through the run of the show, the rest of the OSTs might be something to look forward to. So I'll keep my eye out. I might do some revisions on the January through March OSTs. Again, those will be coming at some point in the future. I just have to figure out a time and a place to do them because, well, I'm back in school now, and at the end of the day, this isn't my full-time job. Being a student is my full-time job, so academics are going to take priority moving forward. But if I can squeeze in some time during the weekends for an OST block or two, I'm going to do it, just like this week. So that is going to be it from me for this week's OST run, both the actual OST Saturday for this week and the little flashback, little mini block of stuff that I missed over the past 4 months. Thank you all for watching along with me. Hopefully you enjoyed it as much as I did. One last request from me today: let's work together as a community to bring a little bit of extra happiness back into the world, whether it be checking in with your friends and family, holding the door open for somebody, or even picking up a piece of trash off the street. Just one small act of kindness may brighten up someone else's day to day. And know that wherever you are in the world, should you ever be going through a tough time in your life, for whatever reason it may be, even though I'm just some guy on the internet who waffles about music in his free time, know that I will always be a friend, an ally, and a shoulder to lean on whenever you need me. So take care of yourselves, take care of each other, spread the love, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.